Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to episode number 48 in our Oxygen Not Included Redux series. Today, we are working on our new boiler again, and our main goal is to get this magma flowing. I want to get it in a controlled area. I also want to kind of just lay out where our boilers are going to be, so I make sure that I have this chamber finished before I crack it open, because I don't want to have to go back in here. I want to be able to seal it up and be done. We're still pumping out some of the oxygen, but main thing I was looking at while that was going on is the design down here. If we look, this is 14 blocks, 15 if we include the sidewall. So 15 blocks for this one. This one is a lot larger, but we're going to condense it down. As far as the piping goes, this one has, it's 10 across for this here. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. And then down here, I think I did the math and it was a total of 11 pipes here. So that's 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then five more pieces up here. So 72 pipes total. Let me make sure that that's correct. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this is another 5. So that's 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5 is 50. Plus 11 is 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. Plus those 5 is 72. So this design has 72 radiant pipes in it that the oil flows through where it is doing its counterflow thing. Might have to adjust that just a little bit. This was just a tweak to get it to be exactly right here. This one is a little bit more piping. And this one I used gold pipe. This one I also used gold pipe. So this one I'm probably gonna have to fit a little more in, but a lot of this is pipes I have coming up here that I might be able to do it with a little bit less. The big thing is that this design, I need a place for the steam to condense. So I need to have this I can condense down, make it smaller so that it fits, but I need to have a steam room at the top. As far as the height goes, this room from top to bottom is 20 blocks tall. This room from top to bottom, 16 blocks tall, I think that says. Yeah, 16 blocks tall. So if I'm going to try to fit them in up here side by side, I need to have at least 30 blocks across. Let me scroll in a little bit here so that I can see it a little better. So 30 blocks across would put us here. I think I'm going to go all the way to 32, have a little extra space in between to work with. And 20 blocks is only there. I can go all the way from here up to there. So it's 28 blocks. So I can definitely fit the space in this little area right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this wall over to here so that this lines up. And then we'll extend this diamond window tile out. And it'll go all the way over to the middle where it'll come up. And we'll have the right flow. This tile might need to be changed based on how far the magma flows from here. I think it flows 10 blocks maximum, so if I go out, that's 8. I think I want to go out 2 more. I think that's what I'm going to start with and try that and see how it goes. But to do that, I need to get more obsidian and I need to lay out some things here. So I'm going to go back down here to our geothermal area where we are working on getting more obsidian. So I got in here, I have this tile now, so I can grab another piece of obsidian here, and I'm going to crack this one, and I'm going to see if I can get that magma to flow out without digging more. If not, I'll dig a few more. Probably will scald one of our duplicates, but it will be fine. What are we overheated at here? A smart battery. That's probably nothing important. Yeah, it's in here. Ooh, that's probably not good. I think I'm just gonna disconnect that battery. Is that gonna... I don't think that's gonna affect my problems. Because... Oh, this is just in the one that's sitting... Yeah, never mind. This is just one that's sitting here while we're doing work on. We need to go... We need to finish building this up so that I can put in my... rocket control center so I can disable everything in here. And that'll fix a lot of our problems. But that's fine. So we're gonna finish working on getting obsidian, get that room built. By that time, it will have all the gases pumped out. And we'll be ready to start working on this volcano. Well, folks, I gotta tell you, I recorded a very, very harrowing rescue from Jackson here, who went all the way down to the magma and got Garfield, who had passed out trying to dig and was in this magma pool. And she brought him up to here and through here, and then I guess out right somewhere here, and for some reason ran up the ladder instead of coming to this side. I guess it's closer, but they got to right here, and Garfield had 1 second left to live, but he made it to the triage cot. So now she's doctoring him up, which is good. Hopefully he doesn't die. Gotten the first stage here built, and this room has no gas in it. I'm gonna leave this here just for a minute. Probably just gonna remove it in a second, but I just want to test this here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a save right before here, just in case anytime I'm doing stuff with magma or something that might destroy my entire base, I'd like to create a save point. And then that way, if everything goes tits up, I can fix it. Okay, so we have all the air vacuumed out of here. I still have the pump there, I can remove it. This person is coming in to dig this here. And then what I'm gonna do next, let's prep this. I already have this one set to sweep. I want to sweep that piece of dirt immediately at priority 9. So somebody should come in here and get this before this volcano erupts, because it says rising pressure. I don't know how soon that is. And we have analysis on it at level 9. Who do we have scalding? Oh, you're finishing the job that Garfield almost died to do. Okay, you need to go heal too. Do I have more than one triage cot? Probably not, knowing the way I play this game. No. I don't think I do. Let's make another one. That's right, I moved it up here because I wanted this room to be a hospital. Is it still a hospital? It is. Okay, we'll put another triage cot in there. Cool. They can handle that. I gotta remove this out of here. I just noticing it. This was my old setup for doing the super cool achievement. I don't need it anymore. That's why it's broken. There's random stuff around my base. Let's check on this. Okay, you're analyzing. It erupts for 76 seconds every 8,470 seconds. I feel like I should put in a mechanized airlock made out of steel right here. That way I can assign it so that nobody can come in here in case that starts erupting, and I don't want people coming in and doing stuff. So we will leave that. I'm going to get this volcano analyzed so we can see its timings, and we're going to wait for it to erupt and see what the magma does down here. I think it should flow all the way to the end because of the vacuum and hit these tiles. And then eventually what we're going to do is we'll replace this one with a window tile and bring it up to where we need to once we have built the rest of it. And the idea is, let me pause this, we'll just draw it out for a moment. Basically, this will be a window tile too, but then it's going to come over here and I will put insulated tiles all along the bottom. And then right in between the two boiler setups, this is going to come up. And then we will have, so that this heat can travel all the way. It'll be insulated tile all the way around it so that the heat transfers through the window tile, but it doesn't go into the surrounding areas. And then up here, we're going to have set up where it's going to go kind of like this and like this. And then we will have doors on each side like that. And then let me think how we're gonna do that. And then do I do window tiles down here on the other side of that? Yes, okay. And then on top of that we will also have a row of window tiles. And then in between we will have insulated tile. And then this is where we'll have the boiler chambers. So we'll have polluted water and stuff dropped in on this side and oil dropped in on this side, and they'll do their things and they'll cool off on either side, and we'll have ways to pump out from down here. This won't be exactly where I build it because I have to figure out the sizes for the piping and everything, but that's basically the idea. But for now, I just want to get this magma flowing and building up so that I have to make sure that this is built correctly before I proceed, and then also start building up magma. We'll probably get these ladders out of here too. I'm just leaving them in for now in case I need to come in and change any of these tiles out and move them. They'll be fine to get out later if we want to. I have some things to report with our volcano. It started erupting. I had this door built beforehand, and so I set it so nobody can come in, and I got everybody out. Most of the things were done. I still have some things to sweep. I'm worried about this sandstone not melting because it's in this 1400 degree magma, but sandstone I'm pretty sure just melts into magma. So it's fine. If it's in there too long and it gets too hot, it will just turn into magma, which is fine. The steel has to reach 2400 degrees, which is not going to happen. So we'll get it out, but I want to get it out quick because it's I don't want it to be super hot. I mean, it already kind of is, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this back on to allow people in so that they can finish this, and then do this analysis. I tried to mop up the magma that was here into bottles so that there wouldn't be some sitting on the floor here while he's doing analysis. I'm just gonna have to watch closely while he does it. So let's just keep an eye on this. So as far as the volcano goes, let's bring that up and we'll look at it together. It erupts for 76 seconds out of every 8,470 seconds. So 8,470 seconds minus 76 seconds is 8,394 seconds. So if you divide that by 60, that's 139.9 minutes before it'll erupt again after it finishes erupting, which means that it's roughly 2 1/3 hours. So after we get an eruption, we're good for a while. I do have to figure out what I'm going to do with the magma down here, but magma did flow down and it did what I wanted it to do. It came over here. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with the magma here when it cools. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to handle that yet. So I'm probably going to pause this and then just do some messing around to test some things out and come up with a way to make it. So ideally I would like the magma here to, when it gets to stay here, and then when it gets to the point where it cools, we could have something that mines it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to create a mining setup in here that works the way I want it to. So I'm going to mess around with some stuff and try some things out and find a way for that to work. I've gotten a few things worked out that should, in theory, work. So I have this little chamber here. It goes 10 tiles. So the magma will collect in here, it'll go in here, it'll flow down to the end. My thinking is that because it's 10 tiles long, it should mean that even if this gets high pressure, we shouldn't have magma building up here. I'm hoping. I don't know for sure. We're just gonna have to test it and see. In here I have a robo miner. It's made out of steel, so it will withhold temperature pretty high, but it's not going to withhold temperature of magma if magma gets up here. But the purpose of this is if this cools down to the point where it solidifies into rock, this will mine it. My concern is that it's only going to mine here. So if we get 2 spaces of rock, we're going to have an issue. We'll just have to see if that happens when it happens, and maybe come up with a new solution if it does. To keep this cool, I put a dot of supercoolant on the robo miner, so it has somewhere for the heat to go, because this is a vacuum, and so is this. And then any heat that gets picked up by the supercoolant from the robo miner mining, I am cooling down with this loop. This is kind of just temporary. I can set up a proper cooling system for it, but I think it shouldn't be a lot of heat if everything works the way I'm thinking, so it should be fine. But basically, all I'm doing is I have this coolant loop from our normal coolant loop over here coming over. It is using a radiant pipe to cool down the supercoolant in this lock. And then I have a mini pump that is picking up the supercoolant and transferring it up very small amounts past here to pick up a little bit of temperature, and it's slowly cooling down this dot of supercoolant. I use supercoolant because supercoolant can go to 436 degrees before it vaporizes. So hopefully that will all be good. Temperatures are all looking fine for now. This is all these ladders in here are obsidian. Eventually they'll go. I just had them there for construction, but I'm going to leave them there until I am sure everything's working good. So if everything works out the way I'm thinking, we'll be able to use the heat from this magma to transfer into this window tile. We'll be able to build the window tile the way that we were talking about with the 2 different boilers. And then we'll be able to keep the magma flowing by mining the rock whenever it forms. The only way to really tell is to build the boiler and find out, because we need to start drawing heat out. So we're going to try it out. We're going to get a boiler built. I'm going to start with trying to build this one because this is the one that I know the size for. I'm going to build pretty much an exact replica of this, and then we will pipe some oil into it, see what happens. I have decided to switch gears a little bit in collecting obsidian. I had been digging over here, and I'm canceling that because I keep having issues with duplicants getting overheated, and I actually had one die because I couldn't get him up to the bed fast enough. So what I'm doing is now oh, they're going to just grab the obsidian. That's fine. They shouldn't be in there long enough that it'll be an issue. I'm digging down here with a ladder to get to this obsidian that we're getting in here, because we need the obsidian to finish our build up top. And we're rapidly losing the heat in here anyway, so it's fine. We'll use it up. This will probably eventually all solidify, and then we can get to this obsidian as well. But we are gonna get the safer obsidian for now. Hopefully this will be enough once we get through all of it to get what we need done. I want to check. I think I dug this out so that I could mop this. That's perfect. This is some gold that melted earlier, and I want to get rid of it before it mixes in with the magma. The build up here is going pretty well. We have a lot more to do, but this is kind of delicate work because we have to make sure that they're building things in the right order so they don't trap themselves inside here. This is working really well. I ran a test here and filled this up to about halfway full of magma without just running it on rapid speed without taking care of the dupes on a test. And it got up to about here, and this stayed exactly where I wanted it. So this 10 block gap made it so that this doesn't flow up because of pressure. It's exactly what I wanted. So hopefully we start drawing heat out of here. This turns into rock. As soon as it does, it gets deleted, more magma flows in. That's theory. We've got to finish building this so we can start drawing out heat to be sure. We have heat here. We'll connect it up to this window tile, which means that the heat will transfer this way. What I'm doing is I'm building airflow tiles all along it so that we have an air or it will be a vacuum cushion between this window tile and anything else. That way we don't have any heat transfer. So we have a lot of that to finish building, and the frame, and then getting the piping set up. I still have to figure out exactly how I want to connect this, because before I had this going up over here and out this side. Well, I don't want it running through there. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be an issue with it running through across this window tile as long as it is jumping over it, because there's not going to be heat in this here. So I may have just come down with a bridge and have the pipe come down this way. In fact, that is what I'm going to do. So I'll just do some insulated pipe made from ceramic, just to make sure where the heat's good. And we'll skip over that and we'll come down this way. And then we'll take a bridge, also made out of ceramic. And we'll do it that way. That way the pipe's not touching this window tile. We shouldn't have any heat transfer into it. Last thing I want is for the oil to come in, hit this 1300 degree heat that's going to be flowing through here, and break the pipes when it boils. So yeah, we have quite a bit to do with that. Last thing I want to check on is our rocket here. Finished exploring that section that we had down here. I still had 17 tiles left, so I'm moving it over here. He's going to fly up here and back, but everything's going well with that. We still have plenty of oxygen on board for our dude. So that's good. So he's going to do that. Then the next time we're going to come out, we'll hit to here and we'll try to get this whole section here done if we can with one trip, hopefully. Then we'll keep moving around. Things are going well with that project. Things are going well with this project. This one is going to be one that takes a lot of time because it has to build up the magma, but about every 15 cycles this erupts and it puts another layer of magma on top, which is more than I'm going to need. So I think that this will continue to keep us up with heat for this system. Hopefully, we'll see. I'm going to let it keep building. We'll get this built before the next episode, and we'll actually start running some oil through to make petroleum. It's going to be a little difficult because we're going to have to redirect the oil up to here instead of getting it from the bottom like we had been. Oops, I hit the wrong key. But the petroleum itself will be going right up into here. Probably going to make a tank to store petroleum up there to get rid of this one, because there's no sense in running it all the way back down underneath, especially because I have plenty of space up here to do it. But that's all for the future. If this works well and we get the petroleum, we'll get the water boiler put in. And then the other thing we have to figure out with that is squeezing in a space to do cooling for the water. Currently, we have this system, which I'm probably going to duplicate. So let's just look here. This is 30 by 8. And up here above our system, we have plenty of space, so we can fit it in right there. So I think this is all going to work well. It's just going to take a lot of time to build it all. But for now, we're going to call today an episode. We got the magma chamber all finished. We still have yet to test it. So hopefully, once we get this done, it's all working and things don't break catastrophically. But we'll see. You know how the game goes. Hope you enjoyed watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.